All right, we're going to crack open a case file that's built from some pretty intense stuff. Official government documents on one hand, and deeply personal video diaries on the other. It's a wild story of alleged international crime and one person's high-stakes fight for the truth. And it all kicks off with a cryptic message late one night.
So that's him. That's the voice of the whistleblower himself, recording a video diary late at night. You can hear he's rattled, and for good reason. He'd just gotten a message from a confidential informant, a tip that was about to change everything.
But to really get why that secret message was so huge, we have to back up a bit and look at the paperwork. See, at the very heart of this whole thing is a formal, official document, a complaint that was sent directly to the U.S. government.
And here it is. This is an IRS Form 211, and what it claims is pretty explosive. The document alleges a full-blown conspiracy by what it calls the Molero-Villamizar clan, accusing them of being a cell of foreign agents operating right here on U.S. soil. Yeah, these are some seriously heavy allegations.
And when you dig into the details, these aren't just vague accusations. The submission lays out a whole list of alleged financial crimes: unreported income, hidden foreign bank accounts, money laundering, even shady dealings with cryptocurrency. It's a very specific and very serious list of claims.
Now, according to the submission, all of these alleged financial crimes, well, they became the motive for what happened next. And that was a coordinated campaign of witness tampering, all designed to shut the whistleblower up for good.
This timeline from the case file really lays out how things supposedly escalated. First, they try to use the legal system, right? You see an attempted gag order, a court order that's described as fraudulent. But when that stuff didn't work, the submission claims the tactics got dirty, moving outside the law. It all culminates in the whistleblower being denied access to his own son, in a situation he flat out calls a hostage situation. So, you've got all this insane pressure coming down on you. What do? Do you back down? Well, this guy didn't. Instead, he launched a countermove, one designed to be totally irreversible.
The strategy was actually kind of brilliant in its simplicity. It was like, you want to bury this information? Fine, I'm going to make it so public you could never, ever bury it. He decided to drag all of his research out of the shadows and put it somewhere the entire world could see it.
And how did he do it? Get this, he published a whole series of books on Amazon called the XisList. They look just like those old-school phone directories, but instead of mapping names to numbers, they map addresses in key foreign cities. Think Caracas, Beijing, Moscow, to a special geo-index score he created. It basically flags potential locations of interest. The whistleblower claims this move, just putting the data out there for anyone to find, made his opponents desperate.
And that desperation is supposedly what leads us to the most dramatic twist in this entire case file. This is where it all comes full circle, right back to that late-night video diary sparked by that tip from a secret informant.
I mean, you can just hear the weight of it in his voice. The informant's tip wasn't about more data or another leaked file. No, this was about something physical, something tangible, something that, if it turned out to be real, could be a total game changer.
And the details the informant gave were just wild. They described a letter hidden somewhere in the house. It was supposedly printed on special super thin onion paper that's designed to burn really fast. It was backdated all the way to 1987. And here's the kicker. The informant said the footer of the letter contained coded information for secret offshore bank accounts in the Netherlands.
This is the moment of truth, right? Was this whole tip just a wild goose chase, maybe a trap to mislead him? Or was there actually a physical piece of smoking gun evidence hidden in his own home this whole time?
So he searches. For 2 hours, he's tearing the place apart. And then, tucked inside a box of his son's old baby pictures, he found it. The letter was real.
And this is what was allegedly at the bottom of that page. It matched the informant's tip to a T. You've got 2 Dutch banks, Amro Bank and Slavenbergs Bank, listed with account numbers. It even has a Giro number, which is a kind of payment system they use in Europe. This was the potential physical proof the informant had been talking about.
The discovery of this letter just completely transforms the entire conflict. Suddenly, it's not a war of documents and digital files anymore. Now, it's a standoff over a single piece of paper that has some potentially explosive implications. So here's the lay of the land. On one side, you have this alleged campaign to silence him using both the legal system and, when that didn't work, things outside the law. On the other side, you've got the whistleblower's countermoves. First, going public with the XisList books, and now going official by handing this newly discovered letter, this physical evidence, directly to the IRS. And that leads us with the big unanswered question at the center of this case.
Look, it's one thing to argue about data and sworn statements. It is a whole different ballgame when you're holding a piece of paper that could potentially connect the dots to hidden offshore money. What happens next? Well, that's now in the hands of federal investigators.